Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the Starline by a writer, director, executive producer, husband, wife, duo of a team looking at the moral and ethical aspects of Bitcoin. He founded a capital fund with the goal of outperforming Bitcoin with less volatility. The film is God Bless Bitcoin, and we welcome Brian and Kelly Estes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Friends, let's go beyond the mic. As of March, around 50 million people own Bitcoin, and 26% of millennials own it. The goal of your movie is to explain the world's financial systems. What pushback did you receive from people or any government in the development of this movie?
We haven't received any pushback. The movie's based on facts and truth, so it's hard for governments to push back on facts and truth. So what we dive into is how the monetary system works. And so, I have a degree in economics, went to University of Cambridge, London School of Economics. I have my MBA from WashU. I was never taught how the monetary system worked. I just learned this about 10 years ago. And so I was just, I was in the dark. And so what the movie does, it explains to people how the system works and why people are working more and more hours and they're not able to pay their bills, and it's hard for them to keep up.
Government can always print more money, but there's a finite amount available of Bitcoins to mine. In the early days, a person bought a pizza with Bitcoins that today could be worth up to $3.8 billion. What keeps Bitcoin from just being in the hands of the elite rather than, in your goal, in the hands of the poor and middle class?
Yeah, so if you look at the distribution of Bitcoin, it's decentralized. So a lot of people say that the first people invest in it own a lot of it, but that's not really true. There's 80 million people who have a Coinbase account. There's millions of people that use Venmo, Robinhood, Kraken, PayPal to buy Bitcoin. It's really decentralized all over the world. And you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Bitcoin is divisible up to 8 decimal points. The smallest unit is called a Satoshi, and 15 Satoshis equal a penny. So you could just buy a couple pennies worth of Bitcoin.
Kelly, you're the founder of the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow Foundation, a nonprofit that provides bridge scholarships to private high schools and colleges. Also, a teacher for 30 years. If you could change the education system in one way, what would you do differently?
I think a class that every student should have to take in junior high, high school, and university is a class that explains financial literacy at their level.
Amen.
That's one thing that our public and private schools do not teach. And so we don't understand the system that we've inherited, which prevents us from making smart decisions about how to pursue our goals and our dreams and how to do what we would like to do for our families in the future. Kids
can't even balance a checkbook.
Some kids don't even know what a checkbook is, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah, you go to a store today and you hand someone cash, and they have trouble giving you change. They could, we've run into that a lot more frequently in the last couple of years.
How has examining the ethics of Bitcoin changed the way you see other coins that pop up like whack-a-mole on a daily basis?
Yeah, so there are over 7,000 different cryptocurrencies out there. The only true use case today for crypto technology, this blockchain technology, is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin represents over 50% of the market value of all cryptocurrencies, and it's about 94% of the value of what are called the proof of work blockchain protocols that are out there. So Bitcoin is the standard. All the other ones are experiments right now.
God Bless Bitcoin is the film. Kelly and Brian Estes joins us beyond the mic, and it's time for the Rocking 8. 8 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There is no pressure. Since we have 2 guests, we'll fly by the seat of our pants. Friends, who's the one person in the creation of this film that enlightened you the most?
For me, it was Rabbi Lapin when he explained the way that the Jewish faith tradition looks at finance. They don't look at paying somebody money for their work as actual money. They call it an appreciation token, which means that they recognize in the other person the talents that God has given them, and they appreciate those. I loved that.
Yeah, and for me, it was Harris Irfan, who talked about how the Islamic, the Jewish, and the Christian religions were more in line than they're not in line. And as a Christian, I just didn't understand that before. So we're really, we share common values more than we differ.
Kelly, what's your favorite thing to do with Brian on date night?
We've been dating since we were in high school, and so one of our favorite things to do is actually what we did in high school, which is order a pizza and watch a movie, and I love just to be home and hang out with him. I'm not fancy.
Brian, what's the best thing at the University of Illinois?
Well, I played wheelchair basketball for University of Illinois, and we won the national championship several times when I was in college, so that was probably the best time there.
Very nice. Kelly, favorite course to teach?
I like to teach. Right now, I really have been enjoying helping students through the college admissions process by teaching them how to write a personal essay. So definitely writing, but specifically personal essays.
Brian, what was the first plane you ever flew?
It was actually, I didn't fly it, but I went up in a glider when I was 14. And then when I was 8, my dad was Air Force, and we were flying to the Azores Islands in a cargo plane, and the pilots let me go up front and steer the plane a little bit. So I don't think they were supposed to allow me to do that, but I remember that to this day.
Kelly, where's your favorite place to relax?
Best place to relax is on my back porch.
Brian, what's your favorite snack?
I would say Reese's Pieces.
I thought he was going to say Doritos. Sure.
Yeah, I was Doritos, Reese's.
Guys don't remember it, but women always do. Kelly, what was Brian's pickup line on you?
He just called me, and there was no pickup line. Remember, we were in high school. We were not that suave. It was, "Hi, I'm Brian. We want to go to Dairy Queen and get an ice cream." Here's the funny part. I was not allowed to go on car dates because my mom thought I was too young. I had to say, "Let me check my schedule, and then I'll call you back." And I ran to tell my mom, please let me go get ice cream with him. She worked with his dad, so she relented, but we had exactly a half hour to get back home.
It's time for one big question with the creators of the film. God bless Bitcoin beyond the mic. A person can hold $1 or a piece of gold. It's tangible. How does cryptocurrency overcome the issue that it isn't tangible, doesn't produce anything?
Yeah, so if you think about it, 98% of dollars today are already digital. You can't touch your bank account. You can't touch the money in your credit card. You can't touch the money in Venmo and PayPal. So Bitcoin's the same way. It's an electronic payment system. So, but that's just one aspect of Bitcoin. The major aspect of Bitcoin, you think of it as a savings account. You use it as a way to store money for the future. Because if you just hold dollars and the government prints more dollars, that purchasing power that you earn today gets diluted. And since there's a finite cap of 21 million Bitcoin, the purchasing power of Bitcoin cannot get diluted.
He was part of a team that won a wheelchair basketball national championship. She begged her mom to go on an ice cream date with him. They're now the husband and wife team of God Bless Bitcoin. Brian, Kelly Estes, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thanks, Sean. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Sean.
And that, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic shortcut. If you're enjoying these conversations, please check out another Beyond the Mic episode to find more actors, artists, and people you need to know. We'd also appreciate a like and subscribe on the Good Pods app.